Let us see the next lecture in the Geoinformatics for Precision Farming. That lecture of the lecture is Geographic Information System. Simply it is called as GIS. Geographic Information System is an information system that input, store, analyze, manipulate, analyze and output the georeference data or geospatial data in order to decision making for planning and monitoring of the natural resources, urban facilities and other management sectors. So that system is called as Geographic Information System, that is simply called as GIS. It is an information system. ஸோ இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் சிஸ்டம் இந்த சென்ஸ் இப்போ நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இப்போ உங்கள் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்டை பற்றின டீட்டெயில் வேணும் அப்படின்னா, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஈரோடு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் அப்படின்னு போட்டிங்கன்னா கூகுளில் போட்டு டீட்டெயில்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஈரோடு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்னா அதில் நிறைய பேராமீட்டர்ஸ் வரும். மேபி கெட்டிங் பாப்புலேஷன் ஆஃப் தி ஈரோடு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் and land area of the Erode district and cropping pattern of the Erode district. Like that you can get the data. That data are called as all the data are called as geographic data, and that data have been compiled in a particular system. That system is called that is digital system. That system is called a Geographic Information System, GIS. Okay. Let us see the components of GIS one by one. The main components of the GIS are hardware. We have to have the hardware. Hardware is nothing but it is the computer that operates GIS either in standalone or network configuration. So the first component is the hardware. Hardware is nothing but we have to have the computer so that we can work in the GIS. Okay. And then the second component is the software. Software is the tool. By that tool we can manipulate the data of the collected data in order to convert the data into GIS data. So that is the second component, software. The third component is the data. Data is the main component apart from all other components, because we have to have the data. That data have to be manipulated and that have to be interpreted to the users. So data in the sense it may be the spatial data and also the attribute data. Spatial data and the attribute data. So we must have the data. The first premost component of the GIS is data. Data is very essential to producing the geographic information system. And the fourth component is people. People means people in the sense it is nothing but it is a technical specialist who are going to work in the geographic information system, because it's a software system, so it cannot be easily working by each and everybody. So we have to have the technical specialist. So the technical specialist can do the geographic information system. Then the last component is method. Method is practice to work with the GIS. Methods, how to work the GIS, how to manipulate the software, how to open the software. So like these parameters have been included in the last category, that is the component of GIS, that is the method. So we have 5 components. One is the hardware. Hardware is nothing but simply you can say it is a computer. Then software is the tool, and the data and people and methods. So these 5 components of GIS are very essential components. Then let us move to the GIS softwares. So GIS softwares are available both commercial and also in the free form. The commercial softwares are ArcGIS, GeoMedia, MapInfo, AutoCAD, JT Maps. So these are the commercial softwares. So they have been purchased and that can be used effectively for the interpretation of the collected data. Then free softwares. GrassGIS, QuantumGIS, Elvis, Jump, PostGIS, MapServer. So these are the free softwares that are also available. Then come to the functions of GIS. Before entering into the functions of GIS, let us see about the advantages and disadvantages of GIS. While coming to the advantages, we can advantages in the sense we can use a large volume of data. We can manipulate large volume of data in the GIS software, and the GIS software allows a wide variety of visual interpretation. So we can so many data we can collect and we can manipulate the data very easier in the GIS. And apart from the GIS integrate wide variety of resources from all other point. Okay, from each and every point we can collect the resources that resources have been integrated accordingly in the GIS. And apart from that advantages, what is the need of use of GIS means actually GIS reduces the cost of preserving the paper maps, and that would because the earlier maps are in the paper maps. So nowadays these paper maps have been converted into digital maps. So that digital maps, the conversion of digital maps can be accomplished by the invention of the GIS. Okay, so that's why we have to study about the GIS. And the second need of GIS is it is very fast and more extensive access to the users. Okay, that is a very important point. So immediately we can get the data. If you are entering a certain information in the Google means, immediately within the fraction of second you can get the data about the entered data. So that's why GIS is a free, it's a very fast and more extensive access to the users. And the next point is, and this is a very indispensable tool for governance, commerce, so environmental and social issues. So we can collect any of the issues. If you want the environmental issues about a particular district means, immediately we can collect from the GIS. Okay. If you want the social issues from a particular district or particular area means, immediately we can get from the through GIS. Okay. So that's why it is very indispensable tool. And apart from that, um, it a better communication of information to the public offices, that is very important, and improved quality of services we can get from the GIS. So these are the essential criteria for the need of the GIS. Okay, that we have to keep in our mind. And let us see the functions of GIS. The first function is data capture. The data capture can be done by that is collection of satellite imageries and the aerial photographs. And sometimes I already mentioned that the thematic maps and the paper maps have been converted into digital maps. So that is called as data capture. So by these sources we have to capture the data for the next step. The next step is data compilation. So data compilation, it's a set of data that comprises the spatial data and the attribute data, and they have been compiled properly for the properly and for the interpretation to the users. So the second step in the GIS is data compilation, and the third step is data storage. Data storage can be done in the generic data model. Generic data model, it is of two types. One is the raster data and vector data that I have mentioned in the last class. That is the pixel values. By the pixel values, the collected data and the compiled data have been stored and effectively stored by means of GIS. That procedure is called as data storage. Okay, so this is about the GIS and components and functions of GIS. So this you keep in your mind, this is an important tool after collecting the satellite imageries. So up to that it is the imagery. So just we can see that imagery. That imagery has to be converted into digital data by adding certain legends, by adding with these certain legends. So that for that addition of that thematic legends by means of this can be done effectively. Actually, I have forgotten to say about the disadvantages of this. While we are seeing about the advantages of GIS, simultaneously we have to see about the disadvantages also. The main disadvantage is it is very expensive. So purchase of GIS software is very expensive. So that is a very it's a very much higher obstacle for the scientists who are working in the GIS, for the technicians who are working in the GIS. That is the main disadvantages. And the second disadvantages is learning curve of GIS is very long, because while working with GIS software, it's a very tedious procedure, and somebody is not interested to work with GIS. So that's why the learning curve of GIS is very long, and I already mentioned that the technical specialist is very essential to work with the GIS. So that's why it takes a long time to learn the GIS software completely. Okay, that is the second disadvantage. And the third disadvantage is it does not produce absolute solution, and that absolute solution will not be suitable for the real humanities research. So that is the third disadvantages. So when we are seeing about the so many advantages are there about the GIS. At the same time, certain disadvantages are also available about the GIS. Okay, so this is up to this the GIS, Geographic Information System lecture. Okay, thank you very much.